sounds. Nothing like waking up to a beautiful day, getting ready to split some firewood. I don't know about you, that sounds pretty good to me. Let's head over to the wood yard. Made it. Quick little drive. So as you can see, we're in woodyard number 2 today. The plan is to split a bunch of ash. Most of this ash I think I've had waiting to be split for most of the summer for sure. Some of it was actually cut, I think, over the winter of 2025, early spring of 2025. So it's definitely time to get it split because my roadside stand campfire wood supply is running low. And this ash, for the most part, will be fairly ready to sell, ready to burn right away. But my plan is to split it now. That way I have some time for it to air dry and, you know, make the roadside stand full for this upcoming fall camping season. Because that is probably one of the busiest times of the year for me. But it's a beautiful day. The kids wanted to get their little quad up here and run it around woodyard number 2. For the most part, they only get to drive it around our lawn, which we do have a pretty big lawn, so they're lucky. But it's, you know, fun for the kids to drive it around in the forest like this. So I'm pretty much all set up already. I'm gonna get right to splitting. I do have the boys with me. We'll see if they want to help, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Things are going pretty smooth. I just moved the splitter back so I can throw another pallet down. I think the plan is to try and stack most of it. You know, nothing pretty, just something to save some space and help it dry maybe a little better, because yeah, it's not a huge pile, but it does get a lot of shade here. So I think stacking it in loose rows like that are gonna be beneficial. So I'm gonna again throw another pallet down, and then for sure I'm gonna do this little bit. This bunch might wait till a different day, but we'll see. I'd rather be doing that. You see that? Must be fun. Just go for a cruise. All right, got those few stacks all split up. It's kind of a mess right now. I still got to go through and clean it up. The plan is to try and stack it like those two have started. My kids were trying to help out at the beginning, but that didn't last long. There was quite a few gnarly pieces in there, which I'll set those aside. Those won't go into campfire sales. Those will go to bulk heating, potentially for, to give away to my uncle or my father-in-law, or even me. I guess I'll burn those uglies in my wood stove. I'll have to kind of go through and pick out some of the pieces were kind of punky. That one's borderline. That one might make the cut. But overall, a lot of good ash firewood here. And I think most of it won't take much longer to dry. So I think most of this was cut over the winter or early spring of this past year, 2025. So it's had some time to sit, but it doesn't really dry all that great in round form, as many of you know. But it, once it's split like this, it shouldn't take long to dry out. But I'm gonna clean up and then I'll show you the end product and give you some final thoughts. Stay tuned. All right, I didn't get it all stacked, but at least it's off the ground. There's one pile of garbage slash, another pile of bark and garbage, some good slash that I'm gonna keep for myself, and it's probably about 2 face cords worth, I'd say. All right, I didn't bring a moisture meter with me, but a lot of it is fairly dry. With it finally now being split, it should dry up pretty quick. Sounds decent. But that doesn't always tell the whole story, but that's a good sign. Overall, everything split pretty nice. This was not the 1 cord challenge type material. I think it was closer to the end there. I had a crotchy piece get stuck, had to pound it off with the axe, but that was kind of my fault. I should have read it better and knew that it wasn't going to go through the 4-way like that. So yeah, all in all, a pretty good day up here. A couple face cords split. Kids got to ride around on their little quad, and I got some campfire wood to restock the stand with later this fall. So I'm going to finish cleaning up. That's going to do it for this video. I have more wood here to split, so you'll see the Wolfe Ridge 17RS in action on some different types of wood here. There's some elm, poplar, and some cherry that I still got to split. So stay tuned for those videos. I appreciate everybody watching. Have a good one. Bye.